We caught something. A glitch in the matrix. A slip-up so huge that it changes absolutely everything we thought we knew about Janelle Brown's life post-Kody. We are talking about a deleted picture. A fuzzy zoomed-in blink, and you miss it update to Janelle's story that was scrubbed from the internet faster than you can say catfish. On the surface, it looked innocent enough. Just a relaxing evening, a glass of wine or perhaps her signature pink drink, and a remark about unwinding. But the goal wasn't the drink. The focus, intentional or not, was the glare. Resting casually on the stem of that glass, on the fourth finger of her left hand, was a huge object reflecting the flash. We aren't talking about a friendship ring. We aren't talking about fake jewelry. We studied the light refraction and we are looking at what appears to be a substantial emerald-cut diamond. 4 minutes. That is how long the picture stayed up. Then, poof, gone. Replaced shortly after by a generic repost of an encouraging quote. But why? If it was nothing, why the fear delete? If it was just a ring she bought for herself, why scrub the proof in the middle of the night? The comment area on the fan pages that managed to grab a screenshot went absolutely nuclear. People were yelling, asking if they saw what they thought they saw. This wasn't an accident. This was an unthinking slip. Janelle Brown is hiding a secret life, a secret future, and possibly a secret fiancé, and we have the timeline that exposes it all. Before we dive into the deep forensic analysis of the last 90 days and reveal the man hidden in the shadows of North Carolina, I need you to do me a huge favor. If you want to be on the right side of history when this news finally breaks, hit that like button right now. It helps the algorithm share this truth with other people who are being kept in the dark. And if you haven't already, subscribe to Coco Gossip and turn on that warning bell. We are tracking the story hour by hour, and you do not want to miss the news when we finally get a name for this mystery man. Now, let's look at the evidence, because the deleted picture is just the smoking gun. The shots have been flying for months, and we just weren't looking in the right direction. To understand the magnitude of this cover-up, we have to go back. We performed a 90-day audit of Janelle's entire social media footprint. And once you see the pattern, you cannot unsee it. This is what we call the hidden hand plot. Let's start with Halloween. Think back to the photos Janelle posted. At the time, we were all focused on the outfits, the grandkids, the joy on her face. But go back and look at the body language. In every single solo shot, and in the group pictures where she is the focal point, her left hand is missing. It is buried deep in a pocket or hidden behind a child or draped perfectly under a coat. In the Halloween carousel, there is a shot of her standing next to Maddie. Her right hand is active, waving, holding a bag. Her left hand shoved forcefully into the pocket of her jacket, pulling the fabric taut. It looks artificial. It looks forced. It looks like someone who is hyper-aware that she is wearing something she isn't allowed to show yet. Move forward to Thanksgiving, the big group shot. Usually Janelle is front and center, the mother of her brood. But in this picture, she is positioned uniquely. She is standing behind Logan. Her body is angled slightly away from the camera, and her left arm is totally obscured by the bulk of Logan's shoulder and her own coat. It's a masterclass in stopping. If you are a director trying to hide a toy in a scene, this is exactly how you would stage it. It's subtle enough that a casual scroller wouldn't notice, but consistent enough that it cannot be an accident. Then we have the live streams. This is where the behavioral research really seals the deal. We watched hours of her latest Plexus promo videos. Janelle talks with her hands. She always has. She is outgoing. She gestures. She uses her hands to stress her points about gut health and pink drinks. But in the last 3 months, she has become entirely right-handed. Watch the videos from August versus the videos from December. In August, she uses both hands. In December, the left hand stays below the frame, or rests on her lap, or holds the phone itself, so the fingers are on the back, hidden from view. There was one specific time in a live stream 2 weeks ago where she went to brush hair out of her face with her left hand, stopped mid-motion, and switched to her right hand. It was a micro-expression of fear, a split-second correction. She remembered the ring. She remembered the enda. She remembered that one slip-up could cost her thousands of dollars. Why go to these lengths? That is the question we have to ask. If Janelle were simply dating if she had met a nice guy and was taking it slow, she wouldn't need to hide her hands like a thief. She has been officially single for a while. The public is cheering for her. We want her to find love. Hiding a boyfriend doesn't make sense. But hiding a ring? Hiding a ring suggests a contractual obligation. It suggests a timeline that isn't hers to control. It suggests that the engagement is tied to a massive media rollout that hasn't happened yet. This brings us to the Detox 2025 story. For the last few months, the official story coming out of Janelle's camp and heavily pushed by TLC is this idea of a new year, new Janelle. We've seen the posts about the gym, the Pilates, the new outfit, the glowing skin. The official narrative is that Janelle is focused on herself, building her business, and becoming an independent woman. It's a great story. It's empowering, but it's also a standard Trojan horse. We think that Detox 2025 is code. It's a cover for something much more standard. In the wedding business, there's a phrase sweating for the wedding. When a bride-to-be suddenly ramps up her fitness routine, changes her hair, and starts glowing from the inside out, people start asking questions. Janelle is smart. She knows that if she just started dropping weight and glowing up without an explanation, the rumors would start instantly. So, she controlled the story. She gave us a reason for the glow-up. Health, work, independence. It stopped us. We were so busy cheering for her weight loss journey that we missed the reason behind it. Look at the side-by-side images of Janelle from the darker days of Flagstaff versus Janelle now. There is a warmth to her features that wasn't there before. A special kind of giddiness. You can see it in her eyes in the selfies she takes in North Carolina. That isn't the look of a woman who is just happy about her blood sugar levels. That is the look of a woman who is being courted. That is the look of a woman who is getting flowers on a Tuesday. That is the look of a woman who knows she never has to beg for bare minimum love ever again. And speaking of North Carolina, let's talk about the location of this secret. The formal story is that Janelle spends so much time there to be close to Maddie and the grandkids. And sure, Janelle is a loving grandmother. No one doubts that. But the number of the trips has changed. The duration of the stays has lengthened, and stories are starting to trickle in about a business partner based in the area. A guy who isn't on the show. A man who has no interest in being famous. A guy who fits the profile of everything Kody Brown is not. We are calling him the secret man of North Carolina. But insiders say he might not be a stranger to her. There is a theory circulating in the deep web forums, the ones that predicted the Christine and David relationship months before it broke, that this man is someone from her past, perhaps a connection from her accounting days, or an old collegiate friend who reconnected with her after news of the split went public. The theory says that the business trips to North Carolina were the perfect cover. Who questions a grandmother viewing her grandkids? It's the perfect excuse. It allowed them to date in a bubble, away from the cameras, away from the nosy eyes of the cul-de-sac, and certainly away from Kody. Let's profile this supposed fiancé for a second, based on the whispers we are hearing. If Kody is chaos, this man is ordered. If Kody is loud, needing to be the center of attention, this man is silent, happy to sit back and watch Janelle shine. The stories describe him as an investor type, financially stable, retired or semi-retired, someone who owns property and doesn't need a reality TV check to pay the mortgage. This distinction is important. Janelle has spent 30 years worrying about budgets, worrying about scarcity, worrying about how to stretch a dollar to feed a generic plural family. Imagine the psychological shift of being with a man who says, "I got this." A man who brings security to the table, not manic energy and half-baked business ideas. This relationship dynamic would explain the sudden change in Janelle's confidence. You don't just wake up one day and decide to delete your past unless you have a strong future waiting for you. This proposal, if the ring is real, isn't just about romance. It is Janelle's final freedom. It's the closing of the door on the Kody Brown chapter forever. But there is an evil in this story. And for once, it isn't Kody. It's the machine that made them famous. We have to talk about the Inda from hell. This is chapter 5 of our investigation, and it is the most logical answer for the secrecy. Why hasn't she yelled it from the rooftops? Why delete the photo? Because she technically can't tell us yet. We know that season 20 is currently in production or deep into post-production. Reality TV works on a huge delay. The directors at TLC are not stupid. They saw the numbers for Christine's wedding. They saw the David Woolley effect. It renewed the show. It gave the viewers a payoff after years of misery. TLC knows that the show is dead without the Kody drama. Watching Kody and Robyn sit in a hoarding mansion is not interesting TV. They need a win. They need a hero's journey. And a Janelle wedding is the ratings goldmine they are banking on to save the brand. There is a very strong chance, almost a certainty, that Janelle's contract for the upcoming season includes a plot twist clause. They are likely crafting a storyline where Janelle finds herself throughout the season dating casually, maybe hinting at a secret suitor, leading up to a shocking season finale proposal. If Janelle leaks the engagement now on Instagram for free, she breaks the season arc. She costs the network millions in advertising income that they would get from a wedding special. And more importantly, she likely breaks her contract, which could cost her a massive payout. This explains the panic behind the deleted picture. Imagine the scene. It's Tuesday night. She's happy she's had a glass of wine. She snaps a picture, feeling cute, forgetting for 1 second that the ring is visible. She posted it. 4 minutes later, her phone rings. It's a maker. They are screaming, "Take it down. You are violating the enda. You are ruining the finale." She panics. She deletes it. But the damage is done. The internet saw it. We saw it. This puts Janelle in a terrible position. She is a bad liar. We have watched her for a decade. She is the logical one, the straight shooter. She doesn't do deception well. That is why the cracks are showing. That is why the hand is in the pocket. That is why the body language is stiff. She is trying to keep a secret that she is bursting to share while a network executive holds a check over her head. But secrets like this have a way of leaking, especially when families are involved. And this brings us to the dinner party reveal. There are rumors of a private gathering that took place recently at a rental property, likely Christine's or perhaps an Airbnb rented for a family get-together. The cameras weren't supposed to be rolling. It was supposed to be safe. But in the age of social media, nothing is safe. A nephew or a friend of a friend, someone on the periphery of the family, posted a short video of a toast. It was up on TikTok for maybe an hour before it was pulled, but not before the eagle-eyed fans grabbed it. We have analyzed this footage frame by frame. It's dark. It's loud. Everyone is talking over each other. But if you freeze frame at the 7-second mark, you see Janelle. She is high-fiving someone across the table. As her hand comes up, there is a distinct flash of light. A sparkle. It's consistent with the emerald cut we saw in the wine photo. But look at the people around her. Look at Christine. Christine is beaming. She has the specific smile, the "I know something you don't know" smile. She is looking at Janelle with a level of pride that goes beyond just having a nice dinner. And look at Janelle's mannerisms in the clip. She touches her face. She brushes her cheek, but the movement is hesitant. She seems conscious of the jewelry. It's the new engagement ring syndrome. You aren't used to the weight of it yet. You aren't used to the size. You treat your hand differently. And if you enhance the audio, which we did using AI audio isolation tools, underneath the laughter and the clinking glasses, there is a whisper. It's faint, but it sounds remarkably like a male voice saying, "So, when is the date?" This creates a paradox. We have the visual evidence of the ring. We have the behavioral evidence of the hiding. We have the motive of the TLC payout. And we have the timeline of the North Carolina trips. But we have to ask the darker question. The question that no one wants to ask, because it ruins the fairy tale. Is it possible that this is all a game? This brings us to Chapter 7, the Kody factor. We have to consider the revenge dress energy of it all. What if the ring is real but the engagement isn't? What if Janelle Brown, the logical, mathematical brain of the family, has calculated that the best way to destroy Kody's ego is to appear to be taken by a high-value man? Janelle knows Kody stalks her social media. She knows he watches every move the ex-wives make. She knows that nothing hurts a narcissist more than seeing his victim thrive with someone better. There is a ploy theory that suggests Janelle bought the ring herself, a massive rock bigger than anything Kody ever gave her. Remember, Kody gave her a clad ring, a symbol of loyalty, friendship, and essentially servitude to the family. It wasn't a diamond. It wasn't an asset. It was a badge of membership in his club. If Janelle went out and bought herself a massive diamond worn on the ring finger, she is sending a violent symbolic message to Kody. She is saying, "I know my value. I can afford my own value, and I am off the market." Imagine Kody's reaction to this. He lost Christine to David Woolley, a man who is cool, calm, and universally loved by the fan base. Kody couldn't handle that. He spiraled. Now, if he loses Janelle, his intellectual equal, his business wife, to a wealthy, successful investor who treats her like a queen, Kody's ego will never recover. It would be the final nail in the coffin of his patriarchy. Janelle knows this. Is she using the ring as a weapon of war? Is she trolling us and trolling him while she quietly enjoys her single life? It's possible. But the look in her eyes suggests otherwise. Revenge is sweet, but the softness we are seeing in her face usually comes from love, not hate. So where does that leave us? We are standing on the precipice of the biggest reveal in Sister Wives' history. The evidence is mounting. The deleted photo was the catalyst. But the cover-up is what convinced us. We have established the cover-up. We have established the timeline. But now we have to answer the question that is keeping Kody Brown awake at night. Who is he? Who is the man that finally made Janelle Brown realize she deserved more? The internet is calling him the mystery man of North Carolina, but our investigation suggests he is much more than a random suitor. We believe this man is the key to Janelle's financial and emotional liberation, and his identity, or at least the profile we have built of him, is going to shake the foundation of the Brown family. Let's look at the business partner theory. For months, Janelle has been hinting at new ventures. We assume this meant Plexus or maybe a garden consulting business, but insiders in the reality TV gossip sphere are pointing to something different. The theory is that this man didn't slide into her DMs. They didn't meet on a dating app for grandmothers over 50. The prevailing theory is that they met years ago. Think back to Janelle's life before the show, or even the early years. She was the worker bee. She was in accounting. She lived in the world of numbers, logistics, and pragmatism. We believe this mystery man is a ghost from her past. Perhaps a former colleague from her accounting days, or a business associate she kept in her Rolodex for decades. This explains the comfort level we see in her body language. Janelle is not a woman who opens up easily to strangers. It took her 30 years to barely tolerate Robin. She isn't going to jump into a romance with a stranger. But an old friend, a respected peer, that track, the move to spend more time in North Carolina wasn't just about Maddie. It was the perfect cover to reconnect with this person under the guise of business meetings. It allows her to be seen in public with him without raising alarms. Two people in business casual attire having coffee look like colleagues. But look closer at the photos fans have snapped of her in cafes around Charlotte. There is an intimacy in leaning in. There is a softness in the way she listens. That isn't a business meeting. That is a date disguised as a merger. And here is why this specific man is dangerous for Kody. He is the anti-Kody. Let's profile him based on what Janelle values. Janelle values silence. She values logic. She values financial literacy. Kody Brown is chaos. He is manic. He is financially reckless. And he needs to be the loudest person in the room. This new man, the reports describe him as the silent investor type. He is the guy who owns the building, not the guy screaming in the lobby. He is financially independent in a way Kody never was. He doesn't need to sell gun accessories at a trade show. He doesn't need a TLC paycheck to keep the lights on. Imagine the dynamic shift for Janelle. For 3 decades, she was the primary breadwinner, or at least the primary financial brain, managing a family with a husband who acted like a whimsical teenager with money. She carried the mental load of poverty. Now, she is allegedly with a man who says, "Put your wallet away." A man who brings stability. A man who wears pants, but doesn't feel the need to broadcast it to the world. This relationship isn't just romantic. It is a relief. It is the first time in her adult life she can exhale. This engagement, represented by that massive emerald-cut diamond, is a signal that the struggle is over. She has graduated from the chaos of plural marriage into the stability of a partnership of equals. But this brings us to the psychological warfare of the ring itself. We need to go back to the ring. In the world of sister wives, jewelry is never just jewelry. It is symbolism. It is territory. For 30 years, the symbol of Kody's love was the clad ring. The clad is beautiful, but in the context of this family, it became a shackle. It represented loyalty to the group, loyalty to the principal, and loyalty to Kody. It was a uniform. It wasn't about the woman. It was about the collective. It was cheap. It was mass-produced for the wives, and it carried the weight of friendship rather than passion. Now compare that to the ring we saw in the deleted photo. An emerald cut diamond. Do you know what an emerald cut signifies in the language of diamonds? It signifies clarity. It is a cut that doesn't hide flaws. It is bold. It is sophisticated. And it is expensive. It is a solitary stone that stands on its own. It is the direct opposite of the clad. By wearing this ring, even for 4 minutes on Instagram, Janelle is engaging in a silent war with her past. Is it possible that Janelle knows exactly what she is doing? We discussed the ploy theory, but let's go deeper. Janelle is the smartest wife. She watches the show. She sees the edit. She knows that Kody's biggest insecurity is his poverty, both financial and emotional. He is terrified of being seen as a loser. If Janelle were to come out and say, I am dating a man who is richer than you, smarter than you, and quieter than you, Kody would explode. But Janelle is too classy for that. So, she lets the ring do the talking. Whether she bought it herself or he bought it for her, the message is the same. I am high value. This is the revenge dress of jewelry. Princess Diana wore the dress. Janelle Brown wore the rock. It is a signal to Kody that she is not sitting at home pining for the Coyote Pass property. She is not waiting for him to validate her. She has validated herself. And if there is a man attached to that ring, Kody has to face the reality that he didn't just lose a wife. He lost a contest he didn't even know he was playing. We have to consider Kody's current mental state as this leaks out. We know he spirals when he loses control. When Christine left, he bought a Grim Reaper pendant and started shouting about kidneys. That was him losing the heart of the family. But Janelle was the brain. Losing the brain is different. It's scary. If Janelle is actually engaged, it means that the financial ties are fully severed. It means she has a new legal protector. It means Kody can no longer bully her into bad real estate deals because there is another man in her ear, a business partner, looking over the contracts and saying, Janelle, this is a bad deal. This connects back to the end and the villain of our story, the production. Why is TLC forcing her to lie? Because they are building a storyline where Kody tries to win her back. We have heard rumors that season 20 involves Kody making a grand gesture to reconcile with Janelle. He allegedly tries to woo her back, claiming he has changed, claiming he can be the husband she needs. Now imagine if the audience knows she is already engaged to someone else. It makes Kody look pathetic. It ruins the tension. TLC needs us to believe there is a chance for Kody so that when Janelle finally rejects him for the mystery man, the payoff is massive. They are crafting a narrative arc where Janelle is the bachelorette. They want to show her dating. They want to show the awkward first meetings. They want the will she or won't she drama. But Janelle has already skipped to the end of the book. She has found the guy, and that is a production nightmare. They are likely forcing her to reenact meeting him for the cameras, or worse, pretending to be single while wearing a ring on a chain around her neck tucked under her shirt. This brings us to a specific detail that slipped through the cracks last week. A registry leak. Now, we have to be careful here because registries can be faked. Fans can make them. Trolls can make them. But a registry appeared briefly on a major home goods site under the names Janelle and Jay. It was listed for a date in October 2025. It contained items that were very specific. High-end camping gear, a specialized wine fridge, items that fit Janelle's known interests perfectly. It was taken down within hours. Was this a troll? Maybe. But the initials, the timing, the curation of the items, it felt too personal to be a prank. It felt like someone testing the waters. Or perhaps a private link that got indexed by Google by mistake. If the J stands for the mystery man, we are looking at a fall wedding, and this aligns perfectly with the Detox 2025 timeline. She is getting ready for a wedding dress. She is getting ready for the photos. The timeline is undeniable. But let's pause and look at the dinner party leak again with this new context. We talked about the whisper. We talked about the smile. But there was another detail in that video that we missed the first time. In the background on the counter, there were flowers, not just a grocery store bouquet. A massive architectural arrangement of white roses and eucalyptus. Very expensive, very bridal. And next to the flowers, a bottle of champagne that costs upwards of $200. Kody Brown drinks lemon water. He doesn't buy $200 champagne. That bottle is a signature. It's a calling card from the investor. It says, I am here and I am taking care of her. The existence of the investor creates a fascinating conflict for the show's future. If Janelle is marrying a private man, how does that work on Sister Wives? Christine's husband, David, was willing to be on camera. He is a good sport, but a silent investor, a man who values privacy. He might refuse to film. This might be why Janelle is hiding him, not just for the enda, but because he has given her an ultimatum. I want you, but I don't want the circus. This would force Janelle to make a choice. The show that pays her bills, or the man who brings her peace. If she is hiding the ring, she is trying to have it both ways. She is trying to secure the season 20 check while securing the private future. It's a dangerous game. If TLC finds out she is refusing to bring him on camera, they could cut her narrative. They could edit her out. Or they could turn on her and give her a villain edit, painting her as secretive and uncooperative. We are seeing the early stages of this tension. The deleted photo is a crack in the dam. The hidden hand is the desperate attempt to plug the leak, but the water is rising. Janelle Brown is currently living two lives. In one life, she is the struggling single mom narrative that TLC wants to sell. In the other, she is a wealthy, engaged woman living her best life in North Carolina with a man who adores her. The collision of these two worlds is inevitable. And when they collide, it's going to be the most explosive season finale we have ever seen. But there is one final piece of evidence that changes the perspective on everything. It's not a photo. It's not a video. It's a legal filing. Public records are public for a reason, and our researchers have been scouring property records in North Carolina. We found something interesting. Not a marriage license. Not yet. But trust. A newly formed LLC with a mailing address in Flagstaff and a principal office in Raleigh. The name of the LLC. New Chapter Holdings. It was filed 3 weeks ago. Janelle is listed as a manager, but there is a second manager listed. The name is redacted in the public view version, which is rare, but possible with certain privacy filings. Why redact the partner? You only redact if the name is the story. New Chapter Holdings. It's not subtle. It's a declaration. Janelle is building a literal new chapter, and she is doing it legally, financially, and romantically with a partner she is protecting at all costs. This isn't just about a ring. It's about an empire. Janelle is building a postcode empire, and she isn't doing it alone. So, is the ring a weapon of war? Yes, but it's also a shield. It protects her from sliding back into the Kody dynamic. Every time she looks at that emerald cut, she is reminded that she has options. She is reminded that she is chosen. And that psychological armor is what is giving her the glow we are all seeing. It's not a pink drink. It's the power. As we move toward the final verdict, we have to ask ourselves, is she going to go through with it? Is she going to walk down the aisle on national television? Or will this be the first wedding in Sister Wives history that happens completely in the dark with no cameras, no microphones, and absolutely no Kody Brown allowed on the premises? We have arrived at the verdict. We have analyzed the deleted photo with the emerald cut diamond. We have tracked the hidden left hand across 3 months of social media posts. We have dissected the Detox 2025 narrative as a cover for a wedding glow-up. We have profiled the mystery man of North Carolina and uncovered the New Chapter Holdings LLC that suggests a permanent legal merging of assets. The evidence is not just circumstantial anymore. It is overwhelming. The jury is in, and the verdict is clear. Janelle Brown is secretly engaged, and she is orchestrating the greatest media coup in the history of reality television. Let's take a step back and look at the master plan. This isn't just about a relationship. It is about a timeline. We are predicting right now for the record exactly how this is going to play out. You need to mark your calendars. TLC and Janelle are currently in a standoff. The network wants the drama, but Janelle wants the dignity. They are going to compromise on a soft launch. Our prediction is that we will not get an official confirmation from Janelle's mouth until 2 weeks before the season 20 premiere. This is the golden window for PR. It's exactly what they did with Christine. You dropped the bombshell to People magazine. An exclusive cover story featuring Janelle looking radiant, perhaps in a pastel suit, finally showing off the ring with the headline, Janelle's New Chapter, Love, Logic, and Liberation. This article will drop on a Tuesday morning. Why Tuesday? Because that's when the news cycle is hungriest. The article will confirm the engagement. It will introduce the investor by his first name only, protecting his privacy while validating his existence. It will frame the relationship as a slow burn that started with friendship and blossomed into a partnership. It will control the narrative before the show airs. Then, the season premiere will air. The first episode will open with Janelle. She will be sitting in a confessional wearing a color we've never seen her wear before, maybe a bold red or a deep royal blue, and she will look directly into the camera. The producers will ask, "So, tell us about your summer." And for the first time in 20 seasons, Janelle Brown will smile a genuine, unburdened smile. She will lift her left hand, flash the emerald diamond, and say, "Well, I've been busy." Cut to black. Cue the intro music. That is the cliffhanger that saves the show. That is the moment that secures the ratings. But what about the wedding itself? This is where the War of the Rings reaches its climax. We believe Janelle is planning a ceremony that is the direct antithesis of Kody's world. Kody's weddings were chaotic, low budget, and centered around him. Even his wedding to Robin was a performance. Janelle's wedding will be quiet. It will be expensive, and it will be exclusive. We predict a destination wedding. Not a park in Utah, not a backyard in Flagstaff. We are looking at a vineyard in North Carolina, or perhaps a private estate in the mountains. The guest list will be the ultimate weapon. Obviously, Christine and David will be there. The kids will be there, specifically the boys who have been estranged from Kody. Imagine the visual of Logan or Hunter walking Janelle down the aisle, giving her away to a man who actually respects her. That image alone is enough to destroy Kody's narrative of being the patriarch. And speaking of Kody, he will not be invited. Robin will not be invited. This isn't just a snub. It's a boundary. For years, Janelle tried to keep the peace. She tried to keep the door open, but the new Chapter Holdings LLC proves that the door is shut. You don't start a limited liability company with a new partner if you are still tethered to your old one. The exclusion of Kody from the guest list will be the final public declaration of her independence. It sends the message, you are not family, you are history. So, we have to ask the final burning question. Is this love, or is it the ultimate revenge? The answer, ironically, is that it is both. And that is what makes it so beautiful. Janelle Brown didn't set out to hurt Kody. She set out to survive him. She set out to find financial stability and peace. The fact that her finding happiness destroys Kody's ego is just a bonus. It is collateral damage that she no longer has to feel guilty about. The ring is a symbol of love for the new man. Yes, it represents a promise of a future where she is heard, valued, and secure. But we cannot ignore the timing. We cannot ignore the secrecy. We cannot ignore the specific choice of a diamond that outshines everything in the Brown family archive. Subconsciously, or perhaps very consciously, Janelle is proving a point. She is proving that she was never the problem. She is proving that she is lovable, desirable, and capable of attracting a high-value partner the moment she stepped out of Kody's shadow. The investor validates everything Janelle has been saying for years. She always said she wanted a partner who was intellectual. She wanted a partner who was industrious. Kody couldn't be those things. This new man is. By marrying him, she isn't just moving on. She is upgrading. And in the world of high-stakes breakups, there is no better revenge than a massive upgrade that everyone can see. But there is a risk. We have to be honest about the risk. If this turns out to be a long con, if the ring is a prop, if the man is just a friend, if this is all a strategy to negotiate a higher salary with TLC, then Janelle is playing a dangerous game with her audience. We are rooting for her. We want the fairy tale. If she is trolling us, the backlash will be severe. But looking at the deleted photo, looking at the panic in her eyes when she realized she slipped up, we don't think this is a troll. Janelle isn't an actress. She is a real person who forgot for 4 minutes that the world was watching. And in those 4 minutes, she showed us the truth. This leaves us waiting for the other shoe to drop. We are calm before the storm. The season is filming. The NDAs are signed. The lawyers are billing their hours. And somewhere in North Carolina, Janelle Brown is sitting on a porch, sipping a pink drink, looking at a diamond on her left hand, and smiling. Because she knows something Kody doesn't. She knows the ending of the story. And for the first time ever, the ending is a happy one. Now, I need to hear from you. This investigation has taken us from deleted Instagram stories to public property records, but the hive mind is always smarter than one person. I want you to scroll down to the comments section right now and tell me your theory. Do you think the investor is real? Do you think the New Chapter Holdings LLC is the smoking gun? Or do you think Janelle is playing 40 chess with Kody and TLC to secure a retirement bag? And more importantly, I want to know who you think this man is. If you have a name, if you have a local tip from North Carolina, if you saw a man in the background of a TikTok that we missed, drop it in the comments. We are reading everything. This story is developing fast. We are monitoring the registry leaks, the flight logs, and the social media activity of every single Brown family member. The second we get a name, the second we get a confirmed photo of the mystery man's face, I am dropping part 2 of this investigation, and you do not want to be the last person to know. So, hit that subscribe button, crush the like button to help this video beat the algorithm and expose the truth. Turn on the notification bell so you get the alert the moment the news breaks. Janelle Brown's secret is out, and Coco gossip is just getting started. I'll see you in the comments, and I'll see you in the next video. Stay tuned.